Hello, my name is Ian, and I'm recording this video mainly because I want to leave something out for everyone that is becoming independent. Like, you're getting to 18 years old and you're building your own life, things like that. I wish to leave something for you, and also I'm recording this video because of my little sister, which I wish that she sees this video, and throughout seeing it, she learns things. So I can at least leave some guidance, some advice for her and also for everyone that is watching. So, there are some things that I gotta start by saying, which is this is going to be sort of a long video, maybe, but much more dense than long. Like, it's a lot of stuff. I'm going to go through so much stuff that maybe you need some time off, man. You need to meditate on something, or you need to rewatch it. Your call, man. But here's the thing. I gotta say that dealing with life and everything else is not that simple, and it does require a lot of practice. But I believe that's enough. We can get on to it. So, the first thing I want to be talking about is suicide, because I've been there, I've thought about it many, many times. But here's the thing. Every time you really think about suicide, which is like the ultimate price you can pay for stuff, is like a very, very bad thing. But you're mainly thinking of doing it because at most of the times you just don't want to feel bad, man. And it's okay, you want to run away, but maybe that's just not the way, maybe you just need to face the problems. And I gotta say that facing your problems, it's never easy, even more when you're facing negative emotions. I've been through all of the roller coaster of emotions, but I gotta say, you don't want to suicide, man. You just want to stop feeling bad most of the time. So here's the thing. If you take your time, you dedicate to it. As an example, I am 21 years old. Man, after so much that I went through, if you really, really think about it, if you dedicate to really dealing with learning, to dealing with things in life and dealing with your emotions, things become so much more easy, and suicide also becomes pointless, because when you're thinking of suicide, most of the time you're just inexperienced or young, and when you're like that, you don't see the full picture of things. You're not used to the wobble, as I like to say. So if there's something that I can recommend, man, just take some time off. You just don't want to feel bad, but you can learn the way of doing so. So here's the thing. There's a lot of stuff that we do, in the heat of the moment. Most of the time, we do a lot of stuff that we don't want to do. We hurt people. I don't know. Sometimes we even do drugs. We do every sort of bad things in the heat of the moment. Maybe you're just stressed out, you're sad, or even you're angry. But there's something that you need to train yourself to do, which is very simple. Just really think about it. Is that really something you want to do? And if you see yourself, and you see yourself as being angry at that moment, you just recognize it. Maybe shouldn't you take some time off to really think things about, to really think things through, to really think, is that what I really want to do? It's something that at least I see as a very important thing. But okay, now I will cut the chase, which is I'm gonna go straight to it. You are mainly, now only one responsible for yourself. And like, I cannot say this enough. I don't know if someone that is like someone important in your life. I don't know, maybe your dad, or I don't know, uh, your boss or someone like that tells you, gives you a gun and says, "Oh, you gotta go and kill this person." Then you do so. You go out, you kill the person. Man, like, although the person influenced you, asked you to do it, you were the one who shot it. You were the one who pulled the trigger, you know? And if you get all the bad consequences of it, you kind of are responsible for it, even if you don't think so. So it's kind of an illusion that we have that we're doing things, you know, and everything is correct. And if we follow certain people or certain rules or certain religions, we are doing the right thing. Man, there's no such thing as the right thing. There's only one thing. The things that you want to do and the things that you don't want to do. And you always got to think through them. And I'm going to go deeper into it, which is like, for a long period of time, I was very dependent, like emotionally dependent of people. And it's a normal thing, you know. I think everyone goes through that at least some point in their lives. But here's the thing. I'm going to cut the chase. Man, you're probably right now doing something, or you have done something that you did not really want to do. Like, for real, 100% you did not really want to do. But you did it for someone else. And sometimes the person like talks you into it, sometimes even manipulates you to it involuntarily. Like, the person doesn't want you to, like, she doesn't want exactly to manipulate you and control you, but like, she also wants things done. I will give you an example. I've had a lot of abuse coming from my father. My father would go out to me and abuse me, like verbally. He would scream at me and be angry, and for everyone's like normal, but you don't really have to go through that. And some people even go like towards thinking that they're helping the person. Bro, most of the time you're not helping anyone by just sitting there and being abused, you know. And like, I will give you the best of the best examples. No one needs you, man. No one needs you. Like, some people have a very bad misconception of what is help. But here's the thing. Helping is not about the other person needing help. It's about you wanting to give the help. You wanting to help. You gotta choose to help, you know? And if you don't do so, you're just like letting the waves take you, man. You're just doing what the person wants. She's like controlling you, manipulating you, convincing you into doing things involuntarily. Like, the person maybe does not even realize it. Shit, I don't think my dad, like, he would get angry at something and then scream at me and then think like, oh, this is really nice. I have someone here that I can, I don't know, scream at and be angry at because of all my other problems. No, he probably was just angry, you know. He just had too much on his plate and he wanted to throw it out. It's a part of the life, right? But here's the thing. You gotta put yourself first. It's something that is very important. You are important, man. And like, most of the time, at least for me, it was like this. If you don't put yourself in like the first lane of your life, in the first priority of your life, man, you're doing everything wrong. Because even with like the most important of things, like family, man, there are some very unhinged families that like people even more in Brazil, people will just do everything like bad, you know? Person will steal from you, the person will kill you, all sorts of stuff, man. So like, if there's something that I can really talk about, is to put yourself first, you know? If you've been to an airplane, it's like you gotta put the gas mask on you, if the not the gas mask but the oxygen mask on you before you put it on the other person, because even if the person needs help, if you don't look to yourself first, maybe you pass out in the middle of actually putting the mask on the person. So like, helping someone is much more about yourself than it is about the other person, you know? It's something that I gotta put out there. So just really think, is that really what I want? Is that really the thing that I want to put up with? You know, you have to reconsider things. You have to question yourself about things, you know? Because if you're not doing so, you're just letting life take you, you know? And it's not like that. Things don't work like that, man. But there's also a little bit of beauty in it. There's, I think the most beautiful thing about it is that you are the only one responsible for yourself. Therefore, everything that happens, every consequence of your actions, you took your actions. You did that. You decided. And the consequences come to you. You know, positive or negative, they come, man. They always come. But here's the thing. There are a lot of things that you don't really consider, you just do, that like you kind of are being convinced into, talked into, manipulated into, and sometimes voluntarily, sometimes involuntarily, which is like most of the time by family, friends, or whatever. But you really got to consider, is that something that I really want to do? It's something very important. But here's the thing, I'm gonna go deeper into it, because I really like saying, first things first, like religion, you know, it's a very important thing, and I will talk more about it on this video. But I think the main thing that people don't see about manipulation and everything else is that voluntary manipulation happens all the time. In politics, in religion, there's like a lot of religions where they'll just rip you off, man. And maybe sometimes even like, I will give you an example. Maybe you're at a church. The purpose of the church is that you cultivate your faith is on that idea. But here's the thing. Sometimes that's just not what's happening. You know, I will give you examples of Brazil. Brazil, there are priests like from Catholic Church that will just do everything in their power to like make you give them money. Like, bro, you don't need to do anything you don't want. You can give money to the church if you want. But here's the thing. You get the consequences from it, you know? And like, of course, I don't believe that every church is like a way of manipulating things. Some of them, their purpose is just faith, man. But some of them, they're just trying to rip you off. Not just in churches, not just in any type of cult, not just in some religions, but also in politics. Politics, they do it all the time, man. You don't see it, but like, there's like, depending on which side you are, because there's no side. Like, someone is the bad guy and someone is the good guy. There's no such thing as this. Everyone there, they're defending their own interests, man. They're defending their own interests, and so should you. And here's the thing. If you are, as an example, seeing things about politicians and everything else, man, like, even if you don't like recognize it or question yourself about it, they're like, to some degree, They are manipulating or even influencing you into doing things. Maybe you don't see it. It's even in advertisements, man. Oh, why do you take Coke every day, like Coca-Cola? Oh, I don't know. Maybe the thousands of advertisements everywhere about Coca-Cola make you do so. So it's something that you really got to question yourself about. Now, there's something that people also use a lot to manipulate you and also to talk you into doing things, which is guilt. I always like to say that guilt was something created to sell therapists' sessions, because that's kind of a done joke, like it's kind of the ball is there, you just have to kick it. But here's the thing. Guilt does not exist. You don't owe anything to anyone. And most of the people will use this, like most of the time involuntarily, to make you do things you don't want to do. But let's think about the guilt. I always have this anecdote, which I like saying about guilt, which is very simple. A pack of lions goes hunting. They go hunting. And then there's the zebra, and then one lion lets the zebra run away. Not because he wanted to, but it just happened, And then do you really believe that one lion is gonna go to the other lion and say, it's your fault? No, man. They got, bigger fish to fry. They don't have to guilt themselves. Create this illusion of they have to do something. You owe something. You don't, man. Just go get another zebra, And a lot of people will talk you into it. You shouldn't let them, And there's also another way people will kind of manipulate you or influence you into doing something, which is involuntarily. Even more culture does so, which is you go out with a girl, as an example. And then there's the check. And then, the man always pays the check. Do I have to? If I don't want to, I no one is gonna force me into grabbing my card, into grabbing my cash and paying for it, I do whatever I want. Whatever, But sometimes they will use your ego, for it. I am, of course, giving an example. If you want to pay every meal for someone you love, go forward to it, man. But don't do anything that you wouldn't like to do, okay? But there's something that is like a focus here, which is the person will say, oh, you don't want to pay it because you're not a man, right? Because you're not rich enough, because you're poor, because you're this, you're that. They're striking your ego, man. You should not. The thing that I always defend is that you should not let the ego be in the center of your life. I have done so many things that I did not like because of my ego. You would go places, do a lot of stuff. I do really recall even there was this girl, and then I did not want to have intercourse with her, but I did, because if I didn't do it, my ego was very fragile at that point. If I didn't do it, I wasn't a man. Bro, being a man is not about just having intercourse with women or even whatever, man. But here's the thing. What other people think of things don't matter, man. And they use it every time to strike your ego and make you do things that most of the time you just don't want to do, man. So here's the tip. Don't inflate your ego, man. It's just not worth it. Just think about yourself, question things. Now, we're gonna go through to thinking about religions. A lot of people are, how can I explain? Against religions. It's not something that I'm fond to. I believe every religion or every cult or everything that you believe in, they have some kind of purpose. and they act as a way of strength, you know. And as an example, we have positive people. Positive people is people that they have faith that life will go great, you know. But why sometimes you will see them as like someone that is stronger? It's because their beliefs are giving them the strength they need to do things, you know. And sometimes religion is mostly about that, you know. It's God, is Allah, is whoever it is. They're just giving you the strength, or your beliefs are giving you the strength to do things you need to do, man. So maybe cultivating a life of spiritually, a life that is like spiritually rich, or that you really cultivate your faith, it can be good for you. And as I like to say again, you don't do anything you don't like to do. Like, you're responsible for your actions. But I do believe that you can use this in your favor if you are a person that, I don't know, has problems in life and just wants to get some kind of boost, you know. Things that you believe, faith, religion, they always give you some kind of strength, man. So yeah. All right. Now we're gonna go through to something which is like mostly about dealing with emotions, if I could say so. Of course, it's not just about emotions. I think it's mostly also about situating things and organizing things inside of your head. But I always like to say that I began this journey on understanding my emotions with stoicism, but I don't think that's going to be the focus here. If you want, you can read. There's like there's like a lot of books, mainly of Epictetus in stoicism, and I recommend you read so if you want to. But the idea is very simple behind it. Is that most of the bad feelings, most of the tiredness and the bad feelings you have in life, they come from you just going around in circles in things that you should not waste your energy on. You should not be focusing on, you know. And I will give you examples about it. There are two main sources for the bad feelings you have. Mostly the past and the future. The past and the future, if you think about things in the future, oh, tomorrow I won't have money to buy food, I will starve, I don't know, tomorrow I'm going to go to war or something like that. That gets you afraid, that gets you anxious, that makes you feel powerless, you know. But here's the thing, if you don't focus on that, if you focus otherwise in the present, like, you have zero power in the future, but in the present you can do anything, man. Like, if you really like project yourself to what you need to do now, you know, it's not like this. Oh, I will give you an example. Oh, I need I don't want to like get thirsty. Most people think like, oh, I cannot forget of drinking water. I cannot forget to drink cups of water. That's something in the future. What can I do now? Let me put some alarms for me to drink water at the times that I want to drink, the amounts that I want to drink. Let's drink water now, you know, something that you got to do now. Like, if you focus your life on the present, the now, as I like to say, the present is a present to you, you're gonna see things going much better. And if you think about the past too, it's kind of the same deal. Like, you get sad because of things that happened in the past. You get angry because of things that happened in the past. But are they really relevant now? Or are you just going in circles on them? You cannot change them. The same thing that happens in the future, where you have zero power on the future and zero power on the past, is something that most people don't realize. So if you think about the now, you cannot just compensate of things that you did bad in the past or things that you wish you have done in the past. But you can also do things to get a better future, you know? And here's the thing. Most people don't realize that, but they don't realize something that is even more important. Bad feelings, all of them, they are like warnings from your body. Like something is wrong, man. It's like to shake you, to make you do something. So mostly bad emotions are about learning. They teach you things, you know? It's like the music is there, man. You just gotta listen to it, you know? That's the idea. But here's the thing. Most people ignore this, you know? They ignore the bad feelings. They just want to get through things. But if you really, really take a deep breath, think about things, like, you're really gonna learn a lot. At least most of the things that I've said in this video, I went to a lot of bad feelings to learn. Okay, now, there's something that a lot of people don't realize, which everyone talks about motivation. You don't need motivation. You need something that is called determination. But most people don't tell you how to create or to get to the point where you're determined. And what most people sell to you is that you need some course or something, whatever. Nah, man, you just need to practice, you know? Start with small things and go make bigger things. I will give you an example. Most of the time, I don't know, you want to like learn to play guitar, or you want to, I don't know, learn another language. Like, you start and then after some time you stop. Why? Because your head is looking at that and saying, man, that's not gonna work out. But if you take some practice, take some time, do smaller things. As an example, let's do it like this. I want to learn about knitting. And then you start knitting. And then you get to the point where you can do X, Y, Z things, you know? That's like a small win. And if you work on these small wins, the larger, like, things that happen in projects that happen in a larger period of time, they're gonna become easier because you're already trained to be someone determined, you know? Like, start by running, I don't know, 5 days, and then run for 10 minutes, you know? Just 10 minutes, 2 minutes even. And then on the next week, you do 10. And then on the next week, you do 15, you know? And then once you really realize about it, you're just doing it, man. And it's like, there's even something that I think is a good anecdote to it, which is like a good story to tell about it, which is like Newton's first law, you know? Things that are static, they tend to stay static unless you put force in them. But here's the thing. Getting that momentum, getting fast, you know, it takes a lot of energy, and most people give up on the first rodeo, you know, and then you start to stop. At some point you stop. But here's the thing. If you keep going, if you just keep doing it, just go, man. If you don't think a lot about it, and if you train yourself to be determined, you can do, man. You can do it. And then it will get to a point, as an example, where you're just in movement. And it's just easy, you know? It's just something natural. It's just a natural habit, you know? So, something important to talk about. And there's something that we really don't recognize, at least most people, but the mistakes, they are much more important for your life than the good things, you know, the success. Because the success, it makes you comfortable, you know. But through mistakes, you can take a look at everything. It gets you motivated to take a look at everything, learn everything, see what you did wrong, what you should and should have not done, you know. And a lot of people don't recognize that, you know, and they just give up. But I gotta say, making mistakes is one of the best ways to learn something, you know? So don't beat yourself about it, man, if you made mistakes or stuff like that. And now I gotta talk about something that also helped me a lot to keep going through life, like a lot, you know, which is realizing the real weight of things in your life, you know. Of course, there are things that are very heavy, you know. Someone dies, you know. Oh my God, someone very important died. A sad, man, is like a very big weight. It's like a cup, you know. You throw a glass cup in the ground, it breaks, does not go back to being a cup. At least not the same cup. But here's the thing: there are ways, as an example, in these heavier things when people die, to deal with it. As an example, I have my special way of dealing with it. Like, if a person died, I cannot change the fact that they're dead, and I should not run around in circles, you know, like just mourning on them. Of course, if you need some time to do that, you know, to just let things out in some way, in crying, go, man. You're not less of a man because you're crying or because you're having a hard time. Everyone is having a hard time. Life does not come with a tutorial, you know. At least I'm trying to help you here, but this is not a tutorial, man. But I like to think of things that I can do now. So, what could I do now that the dead person would be happy? As an example, I had this father-in-law which died during COVID, and once he died, like, he's just not coming back, man. But I have a sister, you know. This sister was his daughter, and since then I have been taking care of her. Of course, I need to put myself in the first plane. I am an independent person. I need to think about myself first. But I have also been doing like things to help her in a way, you know, to actually to cope with these emotions, you know, because you're doing something for the person. Even though the person is not here to recognize it, you're still doing something. But the real weight of things, we tend to take the weight of things too seriously. Like, everything is just too serious, you know. Someone goes around to you in the street and says fuck you, you know, says something stupid bad. Why do you gotta like pay attention to it? Like, is that really so big of a deal? Like, you're still here. I don't know, maybe you get a little angry because of it, but like sit down a little bit and count down how many times someone, as an example, told you to go fuck yourself. Like, in my life, I've had this countless times. I cannot get to a precise number because it's like, for me, it's just impossible, you know. But here's the thing, it's just not that heavy, man. Oh, someone hit my car, damn, I don't know, you have a Bugatti or something like that. Okay, you have a expensive car. Well, can it be fixed? Yes. Most of the time, 100% yes. Person goes there, just leaves the car somewhere, cars get fixed, you know, you just pay the mechanic, whatever. Or maybe you can even learn it yourself, you know, you just go there and do it. You just gotta do it, man. So, can it be fixed? Yes. Oh, then fuck it, you know, it's just not that heavy. I like to talk about this one episode where I've had with this friend. I was in the car with this friend, and he picked me up, and then we ran out of gas. And then we had to wait a lot of time in the car, and it was like, man, it was like 2 p.m. The sun was like, man, it was really hot. And the AC was broken in the car, and we just had to wait for the gasoline, you know, the petrol. So we just had to stay there. And then he would go to me and say, oh man, you know, things are just so bad, you know, right now. It's like a very dark time. But things will work out in the end. And then I looked at him, and then I put my hand outside, and it was like boiling hot, you know. It was just like my hand was completely like lit because of the sun. And then I put my hand outside and I pointed to it and I said, does that look dark to you? And then we just like had a blast on it, you know. So like taking things lightly, really understanding the weight they have, how things really are, you know, things get a lot easier. Even more when you just make jokes about it, you know. Oh, people criticize you about making jokes in hard situations. It's one of the best ways of coping with things, you know. And if the person like gets angry about it, just tell them to go fuck themselves, you know. Oh, but I'm getting this person angry. Well, maybe she can get a lesson out of it, you know. Fuck you. Maybe she can learn the lesson that the weight of a real fuck you, you know. And something that is really great to say, which I've been doing my whole life, which I should have not, which is thinking you can change people. The only ones accountable for directions are themselves. If you've done something, you get the consequences. And just by you thinking you're going to go there and talk to the person about it doesn't mean the person is going to learn about it. Maybe the person will even be like, oh, you didn't help, you know. You were just like whatever. You're just saying things because you want to be yourself, you know. You didn't even help with the things you said. Sometimes the person will like just be like that, you know, just bad. But if you take this time to really think about this, of people being accountable for their own actions, things get a lot easier, you know. As an example, I'm making this video, you're watching it, you've watched through here because you wanted it. I didn't ask you to come, I didn't like force you and put your head in the screen to watch the video. No, you just came here and watched, you know. Oh, but that means you're gonna learn everything from this video? I don't know. Are you? You do it. You do with this video as you please, you know. There's no way for me to stop you. So just go, man. Just go live your life. And something that is always important, I just like telling people what to do. But I gotta say, if you take all of these things, just to remember, that I've just said, and you don't apply them to your life, you know, maybe you're not getting the most out of this. So you decide if you really want to practice and apply these things to your life or not. I recommend you start doing so right now, or program yourself to do so. But what I really wish is that I helped someone out there, right? So thank you, everyone. Thank you for your attention. I hope I have been of help.